All right, on number 1, to get the x by itself, we are looking for anything that is adding and subtracting to the x, which is the plus 4. And to get rid of adding 4, you subtract 4 to both sides of the equal sign. Well, plus 4 and minus 4 on the left-hand side cancel each other out. I bring my 6x straight down. I bring my equal sign straight down. And on the right-hand side, 16 minus 4 is 12. Now my x is still not by itself, so I have to keep going. The only thing that's on the same side as the x is a 6. That 6 is multiplying, and the opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. The 6's on the left-hand side cancel out, or give you 1. So I'm left with x, and on the right-hand side, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So this has one solution, and that solution is a 2. Number 2. First thing we're going to do is distribute property. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times positive 1 is positive 3. And then I bring down my equals 18. Now from here, again, we are trying to do the reverse order of operations. So I'm looking for anything being added or subtracted to my variable. So I look over here. This 3 is written right next to the x. So this 3 is multiplying. But multiplying is step 2, and I'm still on step 1 down here. This 3 is adding to the x. So I have to get rid of the adding and subtracting first. So that's why I'm going to get rid of the adding 3. And the opposite of that adding 3 is subtracting 3 to both sides. So I bring down my 3x, I bring down my equal sign, and on the right-hand side, 18 minus 3 is 15. Now again, we still have to keep going because the x is not by itself. The only thing left to get rid of is this 3 right here, which again is written right next to the x, and that means multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3, and I get x to equal 5. All right, with number 3, I see the distributive property first, so I'm going to do that. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times positive 1 is positive 4. And then I'm going to bring down my equals 8x. All right, from here, we see like terms, 8x and 8x. Now, they're both positive 8x. That's a huge red flag that something weird is going to happen with your answers here. Okay. Now, I always say to bring the smaller variable to the larger variable with an upside down t, since they're on different sides of the equal sign. But there is no smaller or larger. They're both positive 8x. This is the second red flag that you can't find a smaller variable. So be aware, our answer is either going to be infinite many solutions or no solutions, because there is no smaller or larger variable. So since it doesn't matter, I'm going to go with the one on the left. The opposite of a positive 8x would be negative 8x, or subtracting 8x, however you want to say it. So on the left-hand side, my 8x's cancel out. On the right-hand side, my 8x's cancel out. So there are no more 8's or x's. So from here on out, if I write an x anywhere, it would be considered wrong. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to bring down my positive 4. I bring down my equal sign, but on the right-hand side, there's nothing left over there. So I need to put a number over there that represents nothing's there. And what number can you guys think of that would represent there's nothing there? 0. So here is what I'm left with, 4 equals 0. This is not my answer. This tells me what my answer is. I simply have to ask myself, is this a true statement? Then it would be infinite many solutions. Or is this a false statement, and it would be no solutions? And does 4 equal 0? No. So therefore, this means there are no solutions to this problem. And remember from yesterday, if you want to put the Ghostbuster sign for no solutions, you're more than welcome to do so. All right, on this problem right here, when I look at the left-hand side, I see a set of like terms, 10x and negative 4x. Since they're on the same side, I do not need an upside down t to get them together. So I'm just going to combine them real quick. 10x minus 4x is 6x. And then I'm going to bring down my plus 6. And that's the left-hand side of the equal sign. Then I look over on the right-hand side. I see like terms 2x and 4x. And again, since they're on the same side, I do not need an upside down t to get them together. So positive 2x and positive 4x is also 6x. I also see another set of like terms over here. Positive 5 and positive 1. They're on the same side. So again, I do not need an upside down t to get them together. Positive 5 and positive 1 combine to give me positive 6. So now my equation looks a little bit easier and I can start to solve it. All right, from here, I see positive 6x here, positive 6x here. Those are the exact same variables on both sides. That's a red flag that our answer is either going to be infinite many solutions or no solutions. So I'm going to continue solving this one. I like to bring my smaller variable to the larger one. The opposite of positive 6x is negative 6x. So again, all my x's cancel out. So if I write an x anywhere now, I would be considered wrong. Well, what I'm left with on the left-hand side is that positive 6. On the right-hand side is that positive 6. Now again, this is not your answer. It just tells you which answer it is. If this is a true statement, your answer is infinite many solutions. If this is a false statement, then it's no solutions. Well, since 6 does in fact equal 6, that is a true statement. So our answer is infinite many solutions. Okay, on number 5 here, I see the distributive property up here twice. Once on the left-hand side, once on the right-hand side. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times positive 5 is positive 20. Now, that positive 2x is not inside the parentheses, so he does not get multiplied by the 4. So I just brought him straight down. On the right-hand side, I have the distributive property with negative 5. Negative 5 times 2x is negative 10x. Now this next part, be careful with. Negative 5 times negative 4. Well, negative times negative is positive. 5 times 4 is 20. So this is actually a positive 20. And then the last thing over here, that negative 5 does not get multiplied to that negative 2x, so I'm just going to bring him straight down. All right, on the left-hand side, I see positive 8x and positive 2x on the same side. So I have like terms on the same side. We don't need an upside down t when they're on the same side. So 8x plus 2x gives me 10x. And then I'm going to bring down my plus 20 because I didn't do anything with it. On the right-hand side, I see negative 10x and negative 2x. Again, those are like terms on the same side, so we don't need an upside down t. Negative 10x and negative 2x gives me negative 12x. And I'm going to bring down that plus 20 because, again, there's nothing happening with it. All right, from here, I like to bring the smaller variable to the larger one, and since they're on different sides of the equal sign, I have to do an upside down t. So I'm looking at the negative 12x is actually smaller, and the opposite of negative 12x is adding 12x. So over here I get 22x, bring down my plus 20, bring down my equal sign, and bring down my 20 on the right-hand side. All right, now from here, I have to get the x by itself using the reverse order of operations. Right here, this 22 is multiplying the x. This 20 is adding onto the x. So I'm trying to get rid of both of these numbers, but according to the reverse order of operations, we have to get rid of anything that's being added or subtracted first. Well, if the 22 is being multiplied and the 20 is being added, we have to get rid of the 20 first. So the opposite of adding 20 would be subtracting 20. So on the left-hand side, I have 22x. But on the right-hand side, 20 minus 20 cancels out, or you could think there's nothing left over there. So I have to put a number that represents there's nothing left over there, 0. And I have to keep going because, again, my x is not by itself. So now I have to get rid of the 22 that's written right next to the x. That means multiplying. The opposite of multiplying by 22 is dividing by 22. So I get x equals, and on the right-hand side, 0 divided by 22 is 0. So this one is one solution, and that solution just happens to be a 0.